I'd like to welcome you to the proposed scheduling shift for September 2017 and the presentation that Mr. Octow and I have put together that involves the middle school schedule. As we know, there are many pieces to a master schedule and the creation of any master schedule, and that change is a process, and it's not just a single event.
This program started about almost 3 years ago, and when we noticed our enrollments were decreasing and there were annual student concerns and parent concerns with regard to scheduling, we put our heads together and formed a scheduling committee in order to see if we can make the scheduling process easier and the overall schedule more conducive to learning for students. The scheduling committee was formed in September 2014 and introduced to the faculty at the opening meeting that year. The scheduling committee officially met until early spring of 2016. The committee was comprised of teachers from grades 6, 7, and 8, as well as the Unified Arts team, and we made sure that we had broad representation across all teams and disciplines to get input from as many teachers as we could. In year one, we completed a staff survey that all staff did give their feedback on, and we analyzed that data. And then we went out and began to analyze various scheduling templates from comparable middle schools in the area, and we met regularly each month, as well as in smaller groups based on grade level. Some of the results of the survey, which we took into account when looking at new scheduling templates, were the amount of instructional time lost. 80% of the staff regarded that as very important to address in a new schedule. Student pullouts for various reasons. 3/4 of the staff mentioned that as very important in a new schedule to address those pullouts. Time to plan with colleagues for interdisciplinary units, as well as for discipline planning within subjects, among subjects. 74% of staff indicated there was not enough time to collaborate with colleagues. And the length and overall duration of classes, 2/3 of the staff expressed a need for more instructional time. In our second year, the committee landed on a scheduling template that they believe addressed many of those annual scheduling conflicts and concerns of parents and students, as well as addressed the concerns of the staff based on the survey. In spring of 2016, a joint presentation was created by the scheduling committee with all of the teachers involved with regard to our findings and recommendations. At that time, the STEEP committee in the district was analyzing and deciding whether or not to close a building, and therefore our work was delayed. We also had an interim superintendent at that time, but our work was halted knowing that we were having a new superintendent was coming in the summer of 2016. Although the main focus of our committee was to help improve instruction and address those challenges that we had each year, we were also cognizant of our enrollment concerns district-wide and our decreasing enrollment specifically that was approaching the middle school, and we were cognizant with any new schedule of how to address those enrollment concerns.
So this is going to be the scheduling proposal for September 2017 and beyond. As we know, the start times for the 5 schools in Warren are going to change next year. For the middle school, it's going to shift by 5 minutes. So school will officially start at 8:10 and dismissal shifts by 10 minutes. We dismiss at 2:50. We gain 5 minutes of instructional time per day. The recommendation is that in year one, it's a 6th grade implementation for the new scheduling template, while running the traditional 7th and 8th grade schedule that we've been doing. And in year 2, a full implementation for 7th and 8th grade as well. This is what the new schedule looks like. It divides courses between core and encore classes. The core classes, which include science, language arts, social studies, and math, will be 52 minutes long. The encore classes are reading and math workshop, academic support, the unified arts classes, world language, physical education, and performing arts, band, orchestra, and chorus are going to be 41 minutes long. Currently, for the core classes, math, science, language arts, and social studies, teachers teach 5 46-minute periods. The proposed teachers will teach 4 52-minute periods in those subject areas. So that instructional time is going to be 208 minutes next year at grade 6, plus the guide periods. Under our current schedule, we have 2 guide periods. Next year, we will go to 1 common guide period for grade 6. When you look at the new scheduling template, students will actually gain 54 hours of instruction per subject over the 3 years at middle school. That is true in science, social studies, and math. The exception is going to be language arts. For the encore, currently teachers teach 5 46-minute periods. Next year, they will teach 5 41-minute periods, for a total of 205 minutes of instruction plus the guide periods. World language difference. Currently, students have 90 days of a world language in grade 6. Next year, they go to a full year or 180 days of the world language. We also are going to have an increase of minutes in instruction of music in the world language and cycle classes as well. Similarities between our current schedule and the proposed one: we do run 7 periods, plus we have a lunch guide period. Both have therefore 8 periods during the day. We maintain our team planning times. Each teacher has a personal planning period, and it allows for cross-teaming. The difference is, under the new schedule template, there's daily curriculum planning time for colleagues to collaborate. There'll be 1 single guide period per grade level, so that all teachers are available to all students. There'll be 1 single lunch per grade level. Everyone eats together. And the shift in morning locker times and the school day and start times.
So just to recap some of the instructional gains, students will gain 54 hours of instructional time in each course subject over the course of his or her middle school career. That's in math, science, and social studies, with the exception of language arts. World language classes would meet every day in grades 6 to 8. We're going from 2 guides and 2 lunches to 1 guide and 1 lunch per grade in 6th grade next year, which allows students to see all teachers for extra help and not just the ones assigned to a particular guide period, which also minimizes transitions within the building and frees up custodians and lunch help. Cross-teaming continues to be an option for staff. Each teacher for the core subjects in 6th grade will have a daily curriculum planning period, which will allow for collaboration with colleagues. The music program, the lessons will no longer be pulled out from the core academic classes, and pullouts would be eliminated. Our character education program would be held during our guide periods, and therefore adding more instructional time to those days as well. We will continue guide basketball or recess for grades 6 and 7. And with regard to the teaming model for 6th grade for math, science, social studies, and language arts, all of the students will share the same group of teachers, which supports the whole child philosophy. The teaming model will help drive development of interdisciplinary units of learning.
So for next year, year 1 of implementation at grade 6, we are going to create 2 1/2 teams. Each team is going to include the core teachers of math, science, language arts, and social studies. This is what the 6th grade schedule is going to look like. We have an 8-period day. Periods 1 and 2, 6 and 7 are going to be the core academic periods. During period 3, all 6th grade students will have either PE, music elective, or band, orchestra, and chorus. This is the only part of the schedule where we'll run a day A, day B schedule. Period 4, we are going to have guide lunch. During period 3, it's going to be the phys ed and music period. So all 6th grade students are going to be placed on a day A, day B schedule. For those students who have band, orchestra, and or chorus, they are going to meet on day A. The other students are going to be in physical education. On day B, the phys ed students who are not in band, orchestra, and chorus are going to go to a music elective that is going to be 90 days, last throughout the year, and the band, orchestra, and chorus students are going to go to PE. So it simply flip-flops between the music piece and the physical education piece. For periods 5 and 8, which is the Unified Arts World Language Workshop class cycle, in Unified Arts, students are going to be cycled through health, art, home arts, innovation and design, and a new course, informational literacy, which is going to be created to support language arts instruction at grade 6. World language, students are going to select Spanish, Mandarin, or French for the full year, and the workshop classes are either going to be the math workshop or the reading and writing workshop class. The final outcome of our proposal, we believe, is going to be an improved student learning module. Thank you.